I travel a lot for work, small towns, random hotels, always the same routine. I check in, unpack, and crash in front of the TV with bad takeout until I fall asleep. That night was no different. It's Finn Milio. I was staying in a dated but clean hotel just outside Knoxville, Tennessee. The front desk clerk handed me a room key with a faded plastic tag. Room 313. Just said, "You're on the 3rd floor, end of the hall." My room, 313, was right at the end, across from a locked stairwell marked emergency exit only. The room itself was fine, outdated, sure, but clean. A queen bed, a desk, and one of those old beige phones with a red blinking light for messages. I remember chuckling. Lucky number. He didn't smile back. The elevator creaked the whole way up. The 3rd floor hallway was dim, with wallpaper peeling in the corners and a weird draft that seemed to flow from under the doors. I was asleep by midnight. At exactly 3:13 a.m., the phone rang. The loud, shrill ring shattered the silence and jolted me upright. It took a second to realize where I was. I picked up, half asleep. "Hello?" There was a pause, low and muffled, almost like someone speaking through static. "Come upstairs." My blood chilled. "Who is this?" The line went dead. I hung up and stared at the phone. The screen had flashed briefly when the call came in, but there was nothing. Just the hum of the air vent and that low creak of the building settling. The room number. Tate. I was sure of it. 313. My own room. I sat there for a while, heart racing, trying to make sense of it. Maybe I misread it. Maybe it was a glitch. Eventually, I convinced myself it was just some weird prank or crossed line and went back to sleep. But the next night, it happened again. 3:13 a.m. Same ring, same static. "Come upstairs." Same click. This time, I didn't sleep again. I left the lights on and stared at the door, expecting to hear footsteps, a knock, something. In the morning, I went straight to the front desk. "Hey," I said, trying to sound casual, "is there any reason the phone in my room would get calls from?" Itself. The young woman behind the desk looked confused. "What do you mean?" I explained the calls, both of them, and how the caller ID showed room 313. I needed them to see that someone was staying there, that I wasn't going crazy. We rode the elevator in silence. "Kayla." When we reached the 3rd floor, I turned left, toward the end of the hall, and stopped. She stared at her monitor, typing slowly. "We haven't assigned room 313 in years. That room's been out of service." I felt a chill run through me. No, it was right here. This was my room. I stayed here 2 nights, so I begged them to check the room. "I can't." The manager hesitated, then pulled out a large key ring. "Okay." He approached the blank wall and, to my horror, pressed gently against it. "Okay." "No, I'm staying in 313. I've been there 2 nights. That can't be. It's marked unavailable in our system. It always has been." I showed her my key. Her face paled. Trasuit disappeared into the back and returned with a manager. He looked at the tag and frowned deeply. "That's one of the old keys. We replaced these 3 years ago." They both looked shaken. I didn't argue. Got in my car and drove, shaking the whole way. I didn't stop until I crossed the state line. Maybe to prove to myself it was real, I stuck it in my glove compartment. I insisted they come up with me. There was no room 313, rooms 309, 311, then a blank wall. No door. I spun around. They looked at me with polite concern, but it was clear they thought I was confused, maybe even lying. A hidden scene. Door, covered in wallpaper. He unlocked it. Inside was room 313. Dust-covered furniture. Sheets draped in plastic. A room that hadn't been touched in years. No suitcase, no clothes, no trace of me. I felt sick. You put me here. I checked in 3 nights ago. The clerk shook her head. Q checked in, but the computer says room 207. That's where your key should have taken you. I left that morning. But the worst part, the part that still keeps me up at night, Atala, I kept the room key. I don't know why. 2 nights ago, I was driving through Georgia, staying at a chain motel off I-75. Fell asleep around midnight. At 3:13 a.m., the phone rang. That same shrill tone, that same number flashing on the screen. Room 313, but I wasn't in 313. I was in 101. I picked up the phone with a trembling hand, and through the static, the voice whispered again, "Come upstairs."